I mean, you need to figure out what your body's telling you. If you're just being a wuss, then you need to fight through that and go to failure. But if you actually think your body just needs a little bit of a break, then you don't have to. Simon Miller, the bald asshole here, and look at me. Look at me. I look like E.T. and Rainbow made love, and then out popped me. I don't know why I'm wearing this today. And I'm not going to lie, take this off. I just put that up because I thought of the E.T. joke. I wore this once before, and somebody said, honestly, I laughed for days, went, well, I would watch your videos, but you look so stupid in that top, I'm not going to. Look, I tell you, I was going to change, and then I forgot, and we're going now. I guess that gave me a little bit of a self-conscious thing about it. So comfortable. It's like the most comfortable top in the world, and I can pretend I'm being the Punisher. So there's that. Also, just want to say thank you to everyone that bought merchandise. I had no idea how it was going to do. Flex's tee, everyone loved that one. Sold out in medium really quick. I mean, I didn't get that many done, but that's not the point. Bald asshole tee, which makes me laugh because I can't believe that's even a thing. And if you're into my wrestling stuff, the Y cartoon tee. I probably should be wearing them, but again, I wanted to be Rainbow ET today, so I didn't. Let's just get on with it. If you have just started working out, especially because lockdown slowly eases, hopefully you caught the gym video over the weekend, or maybe you just like to have conversations with me, which I appreciate. There are some things that after you've been training and lifting weights for a while, you look back and you're like, oh, why was I never alerted to these things? I know I certainly felt that way, and so I'm giving 8 of them to you right now. Number 8 is that you can't outwork a bad diet. Now, this kind of ties into these silly motivational quotes that you hear, but this one actually has a lot of worth and truth in it, because it is true, it is factual. I mean, technically you could. If you're going to burn a crazy amount of calories, that you can also eat a crazy amount of calories. That's what swimmers do, right? If you go look at Michael Phelps' diet, I sometimes think that they embellish on these things, but he was training for so many hours a day. They just needed to keep feeding him so that his energy levels kept up, and he was just like a specimen of an athlete, so that I understand. But most of us aren't that, right? Most of us are just people that are going to the gym. And there is so much emphasis, maybe not so much as there was back in the day, but there is still so much emphasis on the actual lifting weight part of the gym, that the rhetoric sometimes is, oh yeah, you could just eat whatever you want. As long as you've gone to the gym, your body can get away with it. Now, I'll be honest with you, worst news ever, unless you are this guy, sometimes that's true. Some people do have genetics, and I've said that word now, comments blow up. Genetics aren't a thing. They are. Deal with it. Go talk to your doctor. But some people can actually eat sort of more calorific food, and it doesn't sort of store as fat or whatever. I've met one of them. I roomed with one in uni. I hate that guy. I still do, even though he was really nice. But you're just going to keep falling into pitfalls if your diet isn't in check, which sucks. Actually, I say that. Some days I used to wake up and be like, oh, if only it was lifting weights, it would be easy. And then other days I wake up and go, oh, if it's only diet, it was easy. This obviously ties into the fact that, like, you watch some videos and they go, well, it's 72% diet and 30, and you're like, no, 50% diet, 50% training. You've got to be doing it all. Of course you do. Otherwise, it will catch up with you. And I promise you this, I actually helped somebody drop to stone recently. And I was really proud because it worked. I was like, I know what I'm doing. And, you know, we were talking about it, and they said, oh, why do you think I've she knows other people that she was trying to get in shape, and she was like, why do you not think this is, help my friends that have been doing it? And I said, not trying to be an asshole, bald asshole, but it's because they didn't follow the diet, which is true. They'll do all the exercise, but then they'll be snacking without even realizing it. And as my good man Greg Doucette says, sometimes you got to put the fork down. Number 7 is that you don't always have to train to failure. Like, training to failure is obviously awesome, and if you walk into a gym and you feel like you want to do it 100% of the time, that's no bad thing. Again, intensity in the gym is the most important thing. But I remember thinking every single set must be done to failure. At all times, 100%, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If not, I don't know what I'm doing. It's actually not true at all. Again, there are benefits to it, but you have things such as deload weeks. Oh man, the first time I came across a deload week, which is essentially where you only train at 70, 75%, there's those percentages again, to try and give your body a break. Essentially, it's like when people do carb refeeds. We'll talk about that another time. But this will assist you. And what will assist you even more is those classic things, listen to your body. If you're doing a workout and maybe you just kind of feel like you shouldn't go to failure today, I mean, you need to figure out what your body's telling you. If you're just being a wuss, then you need to fight through that and go to failure. But if you actually think your body just needs a little bit of a break, then you don't have to, and you're still going to have a good workout. Of course you are. The fact you're there is the most important thing. It's like DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have such bad DOMS in my legs right now because I got my first proper leg workout yesterday because the gyms reopened over the weekend here in the UK. It is the most glorious feeling in the world. and it makes me some kind of sociopath that I want this much pain in my legs. But you do not have to get DOMS every single time. The reason it's good is it's a great indicator that you have had a good workout, but not having it doesn't mean a bad workout. Number 6 is falling for the stupid idea, and I did it as well, hence why I'm doing this video, that getting big equals strong weights and getting lean equals small weights, or heavy weights and lighter weights. I think it could be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Now, you should always change things up. It's good for your mental health to change up your program because it's just fun, but it's also good for your body. Your body likes to be kept on edge, right? So keep it guessing. But, let's say that you were bulked up to 18 stone. You're a flipping warrior, man. When people see you in jumpers, they're like, oh my gosh, he could crush my skull. But then, when you take your jumper off at home, you're like, I'm a little bit flabby. I got to sort it out. Okay, so now it's time to cut. Why on earth would you go, I'm benching 150 kilograms, so now I'll start 150 kilograms for 8 reps. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bench 100 kilograms for 16 reps because it's time to get, what they say, toned. It's time to get toned. A word that doesn't make sense. Well, you printer. But no, that's nonsense. The best thing you can do is keep your bench at 150 kilograms for 8 reps, whatever the hell I said, because then as you start to drop fat and you see the scales going in the decreased way, which freaks out people all over the world, if you're still benching 150 kilograms for 8 reps, you have this perfect statistic to be able to go, oh man, well, I must have lost fat. I can't have lost muscle because I'm as strong as I was. If all of a sudden you just throw the rule book out the window, you've got no barometers to focus on. So you should never do that. It doesn't make any sense anyway. If you want to get stronger, should you lift heavier? Yes. But all this whole, I need to get cut, so it's time to lift light. That is the equivalent of saying, if I drink this water, I'm drinking milk. That just hurts my brain. Number 5 kind of ties into that, and it's not knowing that you should be training in all rep ranges. The amount I thought I had to, I've got to do 4 to 5 reps because I've got to be strong all the time, want to be big. Yes, if you're a power lifter, absolutely, because you should always be focusing on your, not always focusing on your sort of, 1 rep max, but you certainly need a good 1 rep max. But if you're just looking for muscle breakdown and muscle gain and muscle progression, man, you should be up there in range. You should be hitting the 12 to 14 rep ranges. And I never thought that. 8 to 10, 8 to 10, now I want to be stronger. 4 to 6, 4 to 6. It's just not true at all. You should be doing all of them because they all have benefits. And I tell you this now, I guarantee it. If you've done a year of training and you've stuck in your, we'll go 8 to 12 rep range, right? And all of a sudden just one session, for whatever reason, you sort of move up to 14 to 16, your body will kill the next day because it will be completely different. And I'm not saying that, again, this ties into the last one, like I say, you should always change it up, but there are certain times when you shouldn't as well. I know that sounds hypocritical, but it's just true. I don't know what situation you're in, and it's all situational, and it's all going to be based around what you're doing. But rep ranges are your friends. They really, really are, and you can utilize them to your own benefits. If any kind of program just says you must do this all the time, unless you're enjoying it, again, that's the caveat, I really would second think it. Number 4, we did a whole video on this, but I can't leave it out if I'm doing the list. We'll just scoop through this one like, I don't know, Sooty. Did Sooty drive a scooter? No, I'm talking about.
The rocket seems to have malfunctioned. No launch today.
But it takes forever. It takes a long time. Don't give up after 2 weeks. Don't give up after 6 months. Don't even give up after 2 years. Your body's going to take ages to respond unless you're sort of in a cool, nice category where it's quicker. But remember, you're your own competition. The mirror is your best friend. Just see how it goes. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course it sucks. I didn't see any proper growth for years. And a lot of that was because, I hadn't balanced my training out as best as I could. But it was also because my body was just taking a hell of a long time doing it. It's not fun. Nobody wants to tell you that. Everybody wants to give you a quick fix. I'm not doing it here on the channel because you're just going to give up. You're going to stop because it's a lie. Number 3 is that you didn't keep records. You should always keep records. If nothing else, it's fun. I have so many notebooks. You can do it in your phone, of course. I like writing stuff down. But I have so many notebooks that I can go back to like 2008 and I can see what I was lifting in 2008. And because I'm a massive geek and a massive nerd and a rainbow ET, I just find that fascinating. What was I doing here and how much was I lifting and what can I learn from this? And in a more week-to-week thing, like we all pretend, again, you do your 150 kilogram bench press and then you all think, oh, I remember what I did next week. And then you get to next week and you can't even remember how you got to the gym. It's just like magic, poof, and you pop up. So how the hell are you going to remember what you lifted 7 days ago? Write it down. Write it down and you just do it in your phone. And that way it's always good for progressive overload, right? It means next week you can do 151 kilograms or you can do 150 kilograms for an extra rep or whatever the hell it is that you want to do. It's just giving you extra ammunition and extra information that you can work with. And it took me probably a decade before I started writing stuff down. And ever since then, I was like, oh my gosh, it makes it so much easier. And then you can figure out how long programs have been going on as well. We'll talk about that in 1 second. You can think, oh, I've been doing this for 20 odd weeks. Maybe I should change it up. Maybe I shouldn't. Again, knowledge is power. This is knowledge. And yeah, number 2 on that very note is changing programs too fast. Don't do one program for 6 weeks. Let's say you've just switched to push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs. Do not do that for 6 weeks. Oh, it's not working. I'm not seeing any difference. Of course it's not. You haven't given it time to work. Again, there's a very fine balance here because, well, not really. A program could work for you forever. I don't know. But there would be a point where you probably do need to switch it up a little bit. But don't do it too fast. You're not a racing car. You're the rabbit and the hare? No, that's the same thing. You're the tortoise and the hare. The rabbit and the hare. Oh, they're both one. The tortoise and the hare. We're the tortoise here. Take your time, don't rush into things, and just see how it goes. And this is why it's good to have a coach. Like, it's hard to have a coach because they're so expensive, deservedly so, because they're providing you a really good service. But I get everyone can't do that. But they'll be able to see the little things that sometimes we miss because we're all just getting inside our own heads. But yeah, do not give up on something you're doing so fast. If you're 6 months down the line and you really don't think it's working, then fine. But you still would have seen some gains from that. It's not like, oh, I've wasted my time. Like sometimes people come out of relationships and they're like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. They're like, oh no, I wasted time. No, it wasn't. You would have grown as a person. You would have learned in that period. And now you can move on to something else and take that education with you. And it's the same in the gym. Next time when you make your new program, you'll know what was working, what doesn't work. You'll get rid of the bad stuff. You'll bring in the good stuff. Again, don't forget there is no end goal in the gym. It's not. It's a constant thing. And then we all get to 80 if we're lucky. We probably, just as we die, I imagine we wonder, was it worth it? But it's worth it now. And that's what counts. And number 1, I've hinted at it through the whole thing. I didn't tell myself to have fun. And I didn't tell myself to enjoy it. And the reason I double down on this so much is I used to get so in my own head. I haven't eaten in 2 to 3 hours. I haven't got enough protein in. I didn't train hard enough in the gym. And I just stressed myself out. I was so stressed out. I was so just like wound up about it all the time. And then thankfully, I just clocked over 30. I just had this epiphany. I was like, what am I doing? There's no point spending all of this time letting it consume me as much as it does, because then I'm not getting anything out the other side. And if you're not in a positive mind space, you're probably not going to be training good enough either. And as soon as I just accepted to sort of do the best that I could and be dedicated and put in the work and be intense, you have to control those things. But when life throws you curveballs that you can't control, all right, we'll deal with it. So I only got 3 meals in today. So I didn't get enough protein. Oh, I had that bad meal at lunch. You can always balance it out. It's all about moderation and what you do over the long term and not what happens during these day-to-day stuff. And I think out of everything here, hence why it's number 1, if I had known that before I started lifting, I probably would have made more progress at the early stage of my fitness adventure. And that kind of sucks. But again, I put it in my brain and now I keep on going to Fun Town, which actually probably wouldn't be fun. There you go, 8 things everyone that goes to the gym wishes they had known before they started lifting. Now, please do make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the bell, ding, ding. Come say hello on Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. I get very nice messages on Instagram especially. So thank you to everyone that's doing that. I do have merch, simonmiller.bigcartel.com. Basically, in the description, there's a bunch of links. Thanks to everybody who is just supporting the channel right now. You're blowing my brain. You're making me lose even more hair, but I'm all right with it. I'll see you soon.